one, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. What we're talking about is a situation where out in, I believe it's Louisiana, they're pretty much going to be passing a law that says if you're 18 and up, pretty much you can carry a gun without no training, without no permit. So let me get this straight. You're not old enough to drink, right? But you're old enough to bear arms. Sounds like a setup to me when you really think about it. Sounds to me as if though they are purposely trying to cause more crime, cause more people to die. I mean, I don't know the crime rate in Louisiana. I don't know. But I could just imagine how much black on black crime is going to increase. Imagine you don't, at 18, right? You can't drink, you can't do all of that other stuff, but you can bear arms. For what? What exactly do an 18-year-old need with a gun with no permit and no training? So let me get this straight. You're just giving away guns. For what? I mean, check this out, y'all. Check this out. Starting next month, age 18 and up can carry a gun without training or without a permit in Louisiana. Effective July 4th, 2024, Louisiana law will allow any person 18 and older who is eligible to possess firearms under state and federal law to carry a firearm concealed on his or her person without a permit. As you can see, I shared my thoughts right there. They making it easy for black folk to kill each other in the hood. And it's interesting that that's pretty much being done because I just finished talking about, the series that I'm sharing about racism versus ghetto culture. That goes right in hand with what I'm talking about. See, racism, now watch me put the puzzle together for you. Racism is the powers that be putting these laws in place, giving 18-year-olds no training, no permits, access to guns. That's the racism. Ghetto culture is, ooh, this law, wow, yo, this is cool, man. Yo, I'm going to get me a gun, man. I can't wait. So now you got the whole hood. Everybody got a gun. Racism is the laws being put together by the powers that be, giving anyone 18 years old and up with no training, no maturity, no principles, nothing. Here, you can buy as many guns as you want. So what racism is? Racism is the powers that be giving the youth access to kill themselves. Because, all right, I'm not saying bearing a gun is a bad thing. No. I mean, if you want to protect yourself and so on and so forth, you have that right. I get it. But let's examine the issues and the crimes and all the issues going on in the world. Primarily, when I speak, I'm speaking of the black community. I like to use that word community loosely because really we don't have no community. So when I say community, I'm just talking about black folk in general, right? There's too much problems in the black community for you to be handing out guns to these folks when they don't even have the maturity, they don't have no training, no permits, no nothing. Imagine being a contractor, but you don't got no permits, and you hire somebody to do a job at your house, and they F up the job, rupture the gas line or whatever the case is, a water line, and all of a sudden now there's a major flood. We can't stop it because it's a city line. Now they got to call out the big boys. I mean, come on now. This is what they're doing. With all the things they could be doing in terms of government, in terms of trying to help, for lack of better words, let's put guns in their hands. You know what, guys? Hey, everybody at the round table. Hey, guess what? I got a great idea for Louisiana. I got a great idea. What's your plan? Let's put guns in all of the youth's hands. Let's give them all a weapon so they could kill one another. That's the racism. The racism is when the powers that be drop the guns in the community, drop the drugs in the community, and now ghetto culture says, ooh, we got guns? Yo, I'm gonna go get the ops now. Or I'm gonna go sell some drugs now. Or I gotta make this money, bro. So who I'm gonna sell the drugs to? My own people. Who I'm gonna use those guns on? My own people. So you can fully expect an influx of crime because of what they're doing. Because of what they're doing. Somebody else on the bottom there says the system is designed to destroy us. Wow, wow, wow. The system is designed to destroy us, fam. Starting next month, ages 18 and up can carry a gun without training. So you don't even know how to shoot, but you can carry a gun. Imagine that, fam. You don't even know how to shoot, but they're saying, hey, it's cool. You can carry a gun. You don't got no training, but you can carry that gun. That's like giving a baby keys to your car. Go on out there, baby. You don't need no training. Just go and drive. Just go and drive now. Here's the keys. Go and drive. Imagine, you got to be like 21 to drink, right? 21. But when it comes to getting that gun, you don't need no training. No permit. Here's your gun. Okay, what are we going to do with all these guns? What is everybody doing with these guns? What is the purpose of putting this gun in all of these 18-year-old hands? What exactly are we trying to do? What are we doing? Who in the world is making these decisions, bro? This is crazy, man. And see, here's the thing, fam. For those of you that view the platform, right? I got to make this clear also for those of you that view the platform, because it's not just black folk that view the platform. To the white audience, the Asian audience, all the different other ethnic groups that watch the channel, you have to understand, you're watching a black man. So when I speak on issues, I'm going to speak in regards to the black community, black folk in general. We know that these laws also include white folk, Asians, this, that. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's going to be in the hands of white folk, Asians. But see, that's not for me to talk about. It's not for me as a black man to talk about what the white community is doing in terms of gun violence, young people that are not trained to bear arms. That's not for me to do. That's for a white man to do. So if you're a white man and you're viewing the content, respectfully, it's your job as a white man to be outraged about this in your community. You get what I'm saying? And see, you might be a white man and you live in a community that's mixed. You got black folk, got white folk, got Asians, got all sorts of different types of people. But when we say community, we're not talking about a community like a neighborhood. I need for you to understand that. When I say the black community, I'm not talking about a neighborhood where everybody live. I'm talking about an ethnic group of people. It's just the way we talk, the black community, right? So as a white man, when you see things like this, right, we know that also affect the white community too, because you're gonna have young white boys with guns. And if they have tempers and they got issues with somebody, they may take somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? Same thing in any other community. Again, when I say community, translation, ethnic group of people, right? It's just code word for social media, right? So you need to make that clear. So when you hear me talk about different issues, I'm speaking on it from the context of what I see in the quote unquote black community. Because in the black community, when you give all these brothers guns, right, they gonna kill one another. There's gonna be no good. They're gonna kill one another. It ain't like those of you folks out there that practice your Second Amendment rights. You love your guns. You got your gun collection. You know, this is your life. This is what you do. It's a hobby. You go to the gun range. We're not talking about you folks to try to rain on your parade and say, well, it's wrong to have a gun. I'm not one of those people. You're supposed to have a gun, bear arms, and practice your rights and so forth, especially to protect your family. What we're talking about is giving the youth access with no training. What? No training? So you mean to tell me, starting next month, age 18 and up, can pretty much carry a gun without training or without a permit in Louisiana? Really? So this is what we getting down to now? Wow, this is amazing. So now, when the crimes start to happen, don't go crying now. When the bodies start to hit the floor, don't say I ain't say so. Don't say I ain't warn you. You're going to have a lot of crime coming to Louisiana. A lot of crime. Because anytime you give somebody access to something with no training, they're going to get these guns as a style, just to show off, and you're going to have people accidentally killing themselves. Why? They don't got no training. So they're going to be holding the gun with a round in the chamber. They're going to be like, yeah, man. Yeah, pow. He dead. How many times have you seen stories of people killing themselves with their own gun because they didn't know what they were doing? They killed themselves with their own gun. They had a story the other day where a young boy killed his cousin with a gun. I don't think that he did it on purpose, meaning that he just kind of shot his cousin. I think they were playing around with a gun. I think it happened in Brooklyn. A 12-year-old killed his 14-year-old cousin. You know, shot him in the chest. Boom. Dead. This is what happens when you put these guns in the youth hands, man. Listen, there is no purpose for this gun. There is no purpose for this law. There is no purpose for it but to cause people to kill one another. That is what racism is about. See, here's the thing, people. Let me make this clear. Listen to this very clear now. You got to listen to what I'm saying, because a lot of times people misconstrue what I'm saying. When I say racism, I am not talking about white people hating black people. Did you hear what I just said? When I say racism, I am not talking about white people hating black people. That's not what I'm talking about. See, racism goes deeper than white people hating black people. We're not talking about that stuff. Not saying that don't happen, but you got black people that don't like white people. We get all of that. Racism don't care what ethnic group you are. Racism is just about controlling the resources so that they can have the power. You can have black people. You can have black people that are controlling the resources and they hate their own people. You can have people that are looking just like me and hate their own people, trying to keep their own people down so that they can make all the money, control all the resources. That's what racism is all about. Who's at the top? Who's at the top making the decisions? That's what it's all about. You see? Who's at the top making all the decisions to keep the people in line? That's what it's all about. Keeping you in your place. That's what racism is about. Controlling the resources, controlling the guns, putting guns in certain people's hands so that crime can increase, so that they can build more penitentiaries. Because we know the youth are not educated, they're not responsible, they don't have the proper information. So they're gonna go out there, they're gonna get these guns, they're gonna kill each other. Simple as that. You know? That's what's going on right now. Let me see what's going on in this chat, man. See what the people talking about. And salute to everybody, top of the morning. Somebody says, yo, tell me why I'm Hispanic and black people is bullying me. Why, man? I did not do nothing to them. People bullying you because you let them. It's because you soft. There's no way around that. You're an easy target. See, here's the thing. In order for somebody to bully you, it's because you let them. Somebody come up to you and they trying to punk you, right? Or whatever the case is, and you punch them in their face. You make an example out of one of them. Just like that. Once you make an example out of somebody, everybody gonna see, they gonna give you your respect. But if you just sitting there taking all this abuse, talking about they bullying me and crying, they gonna keep on doing it to you. But see, if you punch somebody in their face hard, then they're gonna realize, oh snap, yo, damn man, you didn't have to punch me in the face, bro. I was just joking, man. Everybody saw when he got punched in the face. So now they're like, okay, we can't do that to him no more. Simple as that. You know? You gotta handle your business. But see, here's the thing. If we were to put one of them guns in your hand, you gonna kill somebody. You see what I mean? Because again, when you have a gun, you have responsibility. Having a gun is not just about, okay, I'm mad, somebody did something to me, so I'm gonna shoot them. Now you're gonna be in jail. See what I mean? If you're a gun owner and you got guns, there are still responsibility. There are still laws in place. There are still rules you got to follow. You just can't take your gun and start shooting people because you got a disagreement. So if you feel somebody bullying you and they pass this law and you in Louisiana or whatever the case is, you get a gun, now you killed somebody, now guess what? You going to jail. Well, he was bullying me. So, I felt that, my life is in danger, so I decided to kill him. I'm telling you, man, this is crazy. Somebody said, let's be honest, blacks to follow gun laws. I guess you meant do. Let's be honest, blacks do follow gun laws. See, I don't think you're paying attention in class. Let me help you out. We're not talking about, listen, we're talking about irresponsible, reckless ninjas that are out here running rampant in these streets in these ghettos, in these hoods, killing one another. We're not talking about civilized human beings that are responsible adults. Because within every culture, you have a subculture of animals in every ethnic group. Whether they're white, black, no matter who they are. We're not talking about civilized human beings that follow the rules. We're talking about people that don't. That's what we're talking about. And when you have the youth that are untrained, undisciplined, they don't honor their parents, they're disrespectful, they just loose cannons and totally toxic, and you give them weapons and guns, there's gonna be a lot of crimes and people are gonna be killing one another. So we're not talking about civilized black people. We're talking about the degenerates in the community that are out here running rampant, making the community look like we all crazy. We're not talking about decent people. When I talk about these topics, I am not talking about a community of respectful folks that are accountable for their actions, that follow the law. I'm not talking about those people. Those people don't need me to talk about them. They didn't do nothing wrong. We're talking about people that are untrained. Are you paying attention in class? Starting next month, age 18 and up, pretty much anyone can carry a gun without training. Without training. Let me ask you a question. Would you let a youth drive a semi-truck with a trailer with no training? Think about what it takes to get the job, to be a truck driver, and the course that you got to take for the exams and all that stuff. Imagine driving with no training, a big rig. Do you really think you're going to get your CDL? No, it's not going to happen. So why would they want to put these guns in people's hands with no training, no permits, no nothing? What's the purpose? The purpose is to kill one another. That's the agenda of racism. Racism, there's a race for the prize. If I can get all these other people out of the way, whether they white, black, it doesn't really matter. Racism is controlled by a group of people who are at the top. And that group can consist of black folk too. We call these groups the elite, the Illuminati, the secret societies. There's various different entities all around us that control the laws, the guns, the resources, the food supply, the water, energy, fuel, you name it. They are the ones in power. And we got to go to them to get what we need. Ain't that something? And now what they're saying is, your son can go get himself a gun, so now he gonna go to school and commit crimes. That's right. Your son now can go get a gun. Just think about the image that they use to promote this, man. So now you cops out there, man, y'all gonna have a lot of work to do, fam. Y'all gonna have a lot of work to do, bro. Let me see. Somebody said, is that the same person? I don't know if that's the same person. Says somebody said black folks don't follow gun laws. Let me see if that was the same person. Because, when people say outlandish stuff like that, it's like they're a part of the problem, right? To say that black people don't follow gun laws is dumb, You're now sounding like a racist, Somebody said, I wonder why black hate blacks. Well, I wonder why white hate whites. Who said that white people don't hate white people? See, this is the thing. This is the thing about social media. I could be talking about an issue like this, and people will think that in the black community, like we all just hate each other and trying to kill one another. As if though in the white community, they don't got their issues. As if though in the white community, they're not fighting one another and shooting one another. How many of y'all remember the other day when we had that situation when there was a snowstorm and you had two homeowners, one lived across the street, the other one lived on the other side. For some reason, they made their snow go to the other person's house. Dude went in his house, got a shotgun, came outside while the man and his wife was mouthing off. Both parties are white folk. And what did the white man do? Take them all out. So my question is, why post a dumb comment about why do black folk hate black folk as if though all other ethnic groups are madly in love with themselves? Crime is crime, and in every community, it has its degenerates. In every community, you got a loose cannon, somebody out there ready to go off. In every community, you got people that are waiting to start a problem with somebody. You got people in your neighborhood right now that see you every day and they know you're a peaceful person and they are trying their best to provoke you into a fight. They got people like that, fam. They got people that know you're peaceful, but they want to fight you. They want to argue. They want to provoke you. They want to get you into some sort of neighborhood drama. The best you could do is just ignore people. That's why I always say you got to roll solo. That's why I say you got to roll solo. You know? You got to be the bigger man. You got to be the one that is more mature, because a lot of times people do things to push you into that area where now you want to retaliate, but you can't let them go there. Those are the demons that operate through people. See, it takes training and cultivating the right spirit, the right attitude, so that when you see people and you can discern that they're trying to provoke you into getting into a physical altercation, you got to know how to walk away from that. The only time I feel that as a man, you need to execute excessive force is when somebody bring that spirit to your door and it's about to get real. Then, and only then, is when you execute judgment. Do you understand me? But you don't get out of character off of some verbal words. You don't do that, man. It's not manly. It's not masculine. It shows weakness. When a man can run his mouth and you get upset and you're ready to pull guns and ready to fight, you're a weak man. You're weak. No matter how macho you think you are weak. And it will tell that other man that he know exactly how to push your buttons. But when you are around demons that operate through people and they're trying to provoke you and it's not bothering you, it's not pushing you over the edge, they're not getting what they want, the reaction is not happening, they walk away grieved because they're like, man, I did everything possible to get this person upset and they didn't get upset. They didn't fight. They didn't want to flip out. They didn't pull guns. Listen, people, listen to me very carefully. I could be saving some of you lives right now. There are people that want to shoot you, and they're looking for a reason. They're looking for a reason to shoot you. This is why when you look at this law being passed, right? It's given demons access starting next month, ages 18 and up can carry a gun without training or without a permit in Louisiana. So what this does is this. They're going to get access to these guns, and then they're going to be trying to provoke somebody so that they can use it. When you give people these guns and there's no real purpose, they're going to want to use it on somebody. We're not talking about respectful, accountable gun owners. We're not talking about you folks. We already know you folks take care of business. You got your guns, you got your hobbies, you do your thing. We're not talking about you. We're talking about giving these guns to the youth that aren't responsible. They aren't responsible, fam. So we're going to see a lot of people dying soon. Because when you give people access to stuff and they're not trained and they're not responsible, then it's inevitable. The worst is going to happen. You know? I'm just reading what's on the website, fam. If you want, you go take a look at that law. I don't got time to do all of that. I'm just reporting the news. That's all I'm doing. I don't got time to be going and do all this other investigation. If you live in Louisiana, you should know more than me. I'm just reporting the news. You know what I'm saying? I'm just reporting the news, see what the people think about this. Yeah, demons know your weakness. Best armor, prayer. Now, the best armor is don't be around people. That's why I always say rolling solo is the best thing you can do. You know? If you hang around too many people, you're going to have a lot of demons around you. You know, that's just the way it is. If you hang around too many people. You said you're not reporting your bias. Why are you watching me? Why are you watching me if you believe that I'm biased? Why are you even here? I mean, everything you've been saying thus far have been negative. So you're biased. I mean, you're a hypocrite at this point. I mean, you're literally posting comments that represent who you are. You're biased and a hypocrite. And I don't even know why you're watching me for. You can be doing many other things with your life than watching me. So why do you choose to watch me? That's the question you need to ask yourself. It's crazy. Because we're both Americans and you don't believe in the Second Amendment. Notice how this dummy just said that I don't believe in the Second Amendment. Do you see what I mean, people? And we're not both Americans, because I'm not American. This is just what I mean, how dumb people are. When did I say that I don't believe in the Second Amendment? This is what I mean by people that are just dumb. When did I say that in this stream? I'm telling you, man, people are slow. They have selective hearing. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm talking about an issue. This fool coming over here talking about you don't believe in the Second Amendment. So you believe in people giving guns to 18-year-olds with no training, no permit, no nothing, so they could go out there and commit crimes. That's what you believe in. That's what you believe in. That's irresponsible. It's one thing to practice your Second Amendment rights. It's another thing to be dumb. This is a dumb law. But then again, this is what dumb politicians do. This is what all these people in office do. They create these scenarios, and then the crimes start happening, and then they start talking about, oh, you know, it's the people, you know, it's these black people. They're just in the ghettos. It's poverty. You know, poverty is producing this kind of crime. No, it's you folks that are racists that are putting these guns in their hands. Why would you do that? Why would you give 18-year-olds with no training, no permits, access to guns? What is the purpose of owning that gun? What is the purpose? Ladies and gentlemen, what is the purpose of owning a car? What is the purpose of owning a water hose? What is the purpose of buying food? Okay, what does an 18-year-old with no training, no permits, nothing, need a gun for? Especially if crime is on the rise. I don't know what the crime rate is like in Louisiana. I don't know what it's like in the ghettos and the communities where there's a lot of criminal activity. I don't know all of that information. But my point is this. If you're giving all of these people access, there's going to be more crimes. Just do the math. It's not about ignoring the trolls. It's about rebuking them and showing them who they really are. That's how you folks learn. When I see the trolls and I begin to rebuke them and correct them, it is so that you folks that are viewing can see. That fool came in here and said that I don't believe in the Second Amendment. That's what he just said. Those of you that have been watching the stream, we've been live 36 minutes. When have I said I don't believe in the Second Amendment? What I believe in is responsible adults. And this law is not for responsible adults. They're given access to people with no training. That makes no sense. That's like getting your driver's license with no training. That's like getting a job working on heavy machinery with no training. That is like dealing with very, very dangerous chemicals with no training and you wear no PPE. Just put you in the job and let you fly. That's going to cause somebody to die. You know? And that's crazy. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people in these chat rooms, man, that are just dumb as hell, bro. Dumb as hell. Until your kid gets shot, that's when you gonna complain. All you folks out there that are dumb and blind, that can't see because you're just slow. When your son and daughter get killed in these streets by these guns, don't cry. I want you to keep talking all that talk. Keep that same energy. When your son and daughter get killed in these streets as an innocent bystander by one of these guns from these folks that's going to be using them. I want to see how your energy is. I want to see it. I want to see you folks that are talking all that talk about, well, you know, even though it's not right, they still got their Second Amendment rights. So, you know, okay, cool. When they kill your son, or your daughter is sitting in a car and a bullet hit her head because one of these knuckleheads got access to a gun, I want you to keep that same energy about the Second Amendment and say those killers had a right to have that gun to go out there being reckless with no training, and you got to go bury your daughter. I want you to have that same energy. You know? Unknown says blacks don't have gun rights like white groups. There's truth in that. There's truth in that as well. There's truth in what you're saying. Because like I said in my previous streams, there's a lot of racism. So what happens is you could be a part of some club, you got special rights. You come in there as a black man, all of a sudden people start looking at you different. That's how they start looking at you. So once you understand that, you learn how to move solo. Somebody said, here we go with the race-ish. Let me help you out. Because obviously, you know, you're not paying attention in class. See, when you listen to people like that, those are the racists. Anytime you're having a conversation, right? And we're talking about reality in terms of racism, crime, and so on and so forth. And you have somebody pull up in the chat and they're like, oh, here we go with the racism stuff. That's a racist. That's a person who don't like to hear the damn truth. That's the kind of person that when you're a black man and you are in an area where it's predominantly other ethnic groups and you begin to speak the real truth, they get uncomfortable because they know it's the truth and they don't want to be held accountable. Those are the racists who hide behind, oh, you know, we have rights and your amendments, but they don't like black people. And the minute you speak on real issues, they be the first one to say, oh, here we go with this race stuff. Here we go. Those are the people who are the racists. Because as a person who is civilized, you should be willing to hear people out. You don't try to shut people down when they're speaking truth. And when you try to silence someone or make someone feel like, oh, here they go, pulling the race card, you are the racist. You know? Because I'm going to tell you straight up and down, guys, a lot of the stuff that go on in the black community in terms of black on black crime, don't think for a minute that as a black man, when you get around a bunch of white folk, that all of those folks love you. I'm telling you right now. Don't be fooled, bro. Don't be fooled with the smiles. Don't be fooled with the good morning, how you doing? Don't be fooled by all of that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, hear this out, guys. Hear this out very clear. Are you ready for this one? Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for the truth. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for the stone cold truth. How many of you have issues with your own family? Your own blood, hating on you, being jealous of you, talking about you, lying on you, fighting you. Your own family now. Okay, cool. If you got issues going on with your own family, your own blood, your own kindred, what makes you think that the other nations out there love you? All you can do is tolerate different people. All you can do is live in peace as much as you possibly can around other groups. But don't think for a split second that they love you. Do you understand me? Don't think for a minute that they love you. Because I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb at all, fam. I already know you got a lot of people, and it doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in. You can live in the cleanest neighborhood, the safest neighborhood. You will always have people there that are racist. These are facts. But if you roll solo, then who cares? I don't care. Listen, I don't care if I got racists around me, people that don't like me. I don't care, bro, because I don't talk to nobody. I don't talk to nobody. I don't want to know nobody. I'm about my business. That's it. If you talk to me, say, hey, I'll give you that same courtesy, that same level of respect. But other than that, that's as far as it's going. Serious, man. The problem is, anytime a black man speak on an issue, you always have someone that come in there trying to silence them, bro. Oh, here we go with the race card. Here we go. No, it's the truth. It's the truth. Like, for example, in New York. You know how much racism is in New York, bro? Fam, the majority of the plumbers in New York City, right? All Caucasian. The majority. There are black plumbers, master plumbers, and so on and so forth, plumber helpers, but it is very difficult to get that job. Did you hear me? It is very difficult to get those jobs because it's a gated community. All the carpenter jobs are predominantly Caucasian. Facts. And if there's a black man that work, he had to know somebody to get into that club. Facts. I know. You're not telling me nothing. Been there, done that. I already know the game. I know the politics behind it. I know about it. I spoke to many people that work in these different fields, and they tell me that there's a bunch of racism in there. Listen, that was one time I was applying for a job as a carpenter for a particular agency. White man was talking with me. He said, look now, and he was with another black guy. He said, I know you want this particular job. I know you have the training, you passed the exam, you got all the qualifications, but I'm gonna let you know. This is a white man telling me this now. White man. Kept it a buck. He said, look now, it ain't as simple as you think. That's what he told me. It ain't as simple as you think, like, okay, you just pass an exam, you get hired, they just pull you in. He says a lot of people that work for these places, predominantly a lot of families, cousins, nephews, uncles, the list goes on and on. They bring all their people in, their friends, their family, and before you know it, all of them are eating. So for you to come in as a black man, fam, you have to know somebody. Facts. Nobody could tell me that's not true. That's just the truth. Unless you have your own business. Now, if you do your own thing, that's different. But for the most part, that's the racism involved in the workforce in various companies. That's how it be. You know? In Brooklyn, I remember talking to a master plumber that worked for a particular agency that I was working for. And I asked him, I was like, bro, you're the only black plumber here, bro. What's going on? And he pulled me to the side, man. He said, yo, man, you wouldn't believe it, man. He said, I got this job because I know that guy right there. He said, if I didn't know that guy right there, I would not have this job. He said, if I did not know that guy right there, I would not have that job. He called him over. He said, John, come here for a second. And he started to talk. Now, listen to me very carefully now. John, the guy John, right? Listen to this very carefully. You ready? Come a little closer. John is a racist. John don't even like black people. The reason why John gave the dude the hookup to pull him in, because they got a very strict union, all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of racism involved in this, man. I'm telling you, these are facts. There's certain jobs you are never going to get. You're never going to get. But John is a real racist. And when he pulled up, he said he pulled him in because he liked him. He's a good guy. He's one of us. That's what he said. But he said he's not letting in no black guys. He said it right to my face. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, you know he's a racist, but he said, I got a family to feed. It is what it is. He got the connections. I got me this good job. I'm just telling y'all the real. They don't want you to know this. Y'all be thinking everything is sweet. I'm telling y'all what's going on in the real world. In the real world? Keep thinking everything is sweet. In every single job, there are politics. There's racism. There's elements of racism in different agencies where they pull certain people in and push certain people out. These are facts. You know? I don't care about no damn Black Lives Matter. I don't care about that. The minute Black Lives Matter came out from day one, I said that mess was a scam. From day one, I knew that was a sham. Because the only time they came out is to fleece the flock. Yeah, you got to know someone close to get in. You got to know someone close. Like I said, fam, you got some people out there that know what I'm talking about. They done been there. They sat at the round table. They overheard the conversations. At the agency where I worked before, there's a couple of guys there that literally told me to my face they don't like black people. But now hear this out. Hear me out now. Watch this. You ready? Listen. Just because you're around a racist does not mean they won't work with you at the job. Pay attention now. Pay attention. A real racist just don't like you personally. They don't like you. But in the working environment, they'll work with you because it's a job. A job got to be done. But off the clock, they don't like you and don't want to be around you, don't want to associate you, don't want their kids around you. They don't want nothing around you. That's how that dude was, bro. And he said the only reason why he gave the other guy the job is because he likes him. He's a good guy. He feels like he's one of them. That's what he said. When I tried to get the job as a carpenter, the white guy told me, it's going to be difficult. You might not get in. He told me that to my face. My score on that exam was like a 95. I was supposed to get in. I never got in. He was right. He was right. That's what I mean by racism in the workplace. Predominantly all those jobs, they don't give those type of jobs to black folks. If you get in, it's because somebody know you, put in that word, and they believe in who you are. But most parts, it's not an open club for usins. This is why as black folk, we got to start our own businesses, start our own, and stop waiting for someone else to hire us. You get what I'm saying? We're busy taking exams, trying to get into different companies when we could start our own. You could start your own trucking company, your own construction company. You can do this. But no, you want to work for somebody else. You know? But anyway, hope that helps somebody out. You know, because that's not the original topic, but from time to time, we normally take these little rabbit trails and talk about different issues. Racism still going on in America, yeah. Companies are given money and tax breaks for hiring black people. You're lying. There go another person who is a part of the beast system. I mean, the things people say in these comments are crazy. Racism, a terrible disease. Like I said, I don't really care about racism. That stuff is not affecting me. That stuff affects people that don't know how to produce. If you're a producer, you're not affected by all of these things. For example, again, this is racism right here. Starting next month, age 18 and up can carry a gun without training or without a permanent Louisiana. That's racism. Now, yes, you have rights to bear arms. We understand all of that. We're not talking about that. What we're talking about, the fact is they're giving access to these guns to people with no training, no maturity, no nothing. So what that's going to equal? Killings, shootings, deaths. Where is all the majority of these shootings going to take place? In the so-called ghettos, slums, black communities. That's where the majority of all the violence is going to go on. Now, respectful people that are civilized, that are 18, 19, they'll be able to purchase the gun because their dad trained them, their dad will show them the ropes. So we're not talking about those folks. We're talking about folks that have no sense of responsibility. And when you look at the so-called ghettos and slums, those guns are going to be very attractive to them, and they're going to use them on one another. That's the agenda. And that's a part of the racism effect, right? Now, besides racism, ghetto culture is responsible for all of the shootings that will take place with those guns. Because in ghetto culture, they teach you that once someone offends you, you got to shoot them. So we can expect to hear more killings in the coming months, right? What you call it? Joe the racist said, a law that equals across all races is racist. Stop being a victim. Nobody's playing the victim here. You're just slow and dumb. That's the problem. The problem is, sir, is that you're slow and foolish, because we're not talking about a law that goes equals across all races. I'm speaking from the context of what this law will do for the black community. I could care less what it does for the white community. If you paid attention, you would understand. I'm a black man. I'm speaking for the black community. If you're a white man, you speak for your community. Your community issues have nothing to do with me. Do you understand? If a bunch of white people is out here and they living their life and they got drama and problems, that have nothing to do with me. If you got teenage kids coming into these schools, shooting these schools up, and these kids are coming from white households, that have nothing to do with me. That is for you folks in those communities to address those issues. It have nothing to do with me. I'm addressing what affects the black community. Do you understand that now? So when we're talking about this issue, we're not playing victims. We're talking about what these laws do in terms of affecting people. Because just like this law is going to affect the low-income communities in the black community, it's going to do the same in other groups and other communities. But that's not for me to speak on. I'm not going to speak on what's going on in the white community. I don't really care. That's not my problem. You know? My job is not to speak on what white folk is doing. I don't care. No, we're not on Earth all together. No. If we were, please explain the transatlantic slave trade. Crickets. If we're all on Earth together, right? Because this Joe Biden hater here says we're all on Earth together. This is typical of what racists do, guys. I want you to all peep the game. This is typical of what racists do. They'll say we're all on Earth together. Stop separating and stop working as one, or start working as one, they're trying to say. They love to say stuff like that. But my question to you is, if we're all on Earth together, right? Why the transatlantic slave trade took place? Crickets. This is where you got them. This is where their back is against the wall and they can't even speak after that. You see? If we're all together, why was children being used as alligator bait? Could you explain that to me? Please explain to me why black babies were being used as alligator bait for the white man, if we're all together. Explain to me why black men and women were sold as bondmen and bondwomen in captivity to the other nations, if we're all together. Explain that. Explain to me why black men and black women were slaves in households and took the last names of the slave master. For example, my last name is not my last name. My last name is a name of a slave owner who had my ancestors in slavery. This is why when you look at Malcolm X, X represents erasing that name the slave master gave his family. So if your last name is Willis, you come from the plantation of Mr. Willis. That's how it goes. So don't fall for the okie doke when they tell you, oh, we all on earth together. You're causing separation. You're doing this. And, we need to all be together. No. They just can't handle the truth when you begin to speak. Robert W. says, you're not a slave. All of you are a slave if you go to the 9 to 5. Haven't you heard? All of you are a slave when you go to the 9 to 5. When you go to the 9 to 5 and you don't want to be there, you a slave. If you have a job that's not paying you what you know you deserve, you a slave. If you're in credit card debt, you're a slave. Why do you think they call it MasterCard? Why do you think that Capital One card you got says MasterCard? Because you a slave. You owe money. They control you. That's why if you don't pay your bills, they garnish what? Your paycheck. Why? Because they're the slave master. You the slave. Period. So slavery still exists. The problem is you're just dumb and slow and don't know that you are in captivity. And it doesn't matter if you're white or black. You can still be enslaved. And that's what racism is. If you paid attention to the stream, I made it very clear that the new racism in today's day, it doesn't matter if you're white or black. It's about who control the resources. It's about who's in power. That's what it's about. But see, you'll have these trolls, they'll come over here trying to challenge me. Y'all ain't gonna win. You're not talking to no fool. Doesn't matter if you're white or black. You could be a slave either way. If you're at a dead-end job and you can't stand it, they paying you less and you're mad, you're enslaved. Why? You go there every day. You're slaving, you're striving, and it's like you're not seeing no results. They got you. They own you. Hey, master, can I go on vacation? You can't pick vacation yet. Charlene got seniority over you. But come on, massa. I want to go on vacation. I got a trip planned. Sorry, your trip is over. You got to come to work. You report here on Monday or you're fired. What time you got to be at work? 8 o'clock? Oh, you don't get there on time? Oh, you're marked late. Oh, you do that 3, 4, 5 times? Oh, you're going to be in the office. Massa going to put you in that office. You're going to get that memo. You're going to be fighting for your job. Why? Because you're a slave. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. It's the truth. When I was on a 9 to 5, I was a slave. But the thing is, I loved the job, but I understood the culture. You're technically a slave. I don't know why people can't see that. I don't know why people can't understand that. I think what it is everybody want to pride themselves as, well, I'm not no slave. I'm not this. I'm not that. No. If you got to report somewhere and you got to answer to somebody, they control your life. They control your life. Own it. It's the truth, man. When I was on a 9 to 5, I had to do what I was told. Period. It wasn't I just come there and call the shots, say what I want. No. You gotta follow orders. Your job only pay you enough to make it to next week. Period. Depending on who you are. You might be a person that's watching. You make a lot of money. You have a great career. You got a business. You make 6 figures and up, 250K. You're doing really well. We're not talking about you. We're talking about people that are in jobs, have issues. They don't like their job. They're frustrated. Things like that. When you're under those conditions, you're in slavery. And if you owe debt and you have a bunch of credit cards and you're behind on your bills, that's bondage. Don't get mad at me. It's just the truth, man. You get paid just to make it to next week. You're one paycheck away from being homeless. Come on now. Own it, man. You got to recognize the truth. You can't run from the truth, man. I'm just dropping the truth the way it is. I know a lot of people don't like to hear it. You know? Robert says, bro, you're living better than me. Relax. Bro, you know what's so funny? It's funny when people say, you living better than me. You don't even know where I came from. You don't even know where I came from, bro. You don't even know where I moved from, bro. Talking about you living better than me. You don't even know me. You don't even know me. You don't even know where I moved from. You don't even know the struggle. You don't even know. You're living better than me. You don't even know me. It's amazing, bro. It's amazing how people can see where you are and don't even know where you came from. Bro, I came from the hood, the slums, the ghetto. That's where I moved from. Man, bro. Yo, I'm telling you, man, that's amazing when people do stuff like that, bro. Absolutely crazy, man. This is crazy. They don't even know the battle. They don't even know all the hard work it took, bro. The sacrifices. Saving your bread. Getting your credit in order. You know how much things I had to do, bro? You know what it's like to maintain a credit score of 830? You know what that's like? You know what it's like to build that up? You know what it's like to save money, sacrifice, can't go here, can't go there, because you're trying to put your family in a better situation? You know how much work it goes into that? See, that's the kind of work a lot of usins don't want to do. We don't want to do the work. We want the results. We want a lotto ticket. No, you got to work. You got to go through. You got to suffer a little bit. But when I see people say stuff like, "Oh, you living better than me." Fam, you don't even know what's going on, bro. I just moved in this house from the ghetto. I just moved to this house. Just moved. Maybe you're new. You haven't followed my story. That's what it is. You haven't followed my story. I just moved here. I moved here on the 18th of May. But now I am officially moved in. Just moved in. My stuff is not even packed. It's not even packed, bro. Like literally, like I have stuff all over the place, bro. All over the place. Like I literally, like my clothes and stuff, like I'm taking them out of boxes, bro. Check this out. Let me show you something. Like this is clothes right here. Check this out. You see this? This is clothes on the floor, bro. You see that? This is clothes on the floor. Where I just took it out of the boxes and just threw everything here because I got to go put them in a closet. I got to go hang up everything into a closet, bro. But yet, you try to talk about these things with people, they're looking at you like, "Oh, you know, you're living better than me. You're doing this. You're doing that." No, you don't even know where I'm at. You don't even know what I've been through. You don't even know the struggle. You don't even know. You know? It's crazy, man. And that ain't even nothing. I got a bunch of clothes, bro. And the thing is, I got to take all of that stuff out of the box and sort it all out. But again, people think that everything is sweet, everything is cool. No, there's a lot of work that goes into this, bro. A lot of work. I got to put up shades. I got to do this. This whole place, I got stuff all over the place, bro. Let me see. Let me see right here. Garage. Check it out, bro. Check it out. You see the boxes? You see all the boxes, bro? I ain't even unpacked, bro. You see all this? Look at this, bro. People, "Hey, you living better than me. You don't even know me. You don't even know where I came from, bro. You don't know nothing, bro. You see all that? I didn't even unpack. You know how much stuff I got? Psh, man. But yet, I keep it official with the people. I show and prove. I talk and I'm transparent. But you got a lot of these cats, they be talking and they don't even know what it's like to go through a struggle and obtain something, bro. They don't know, you know? But yeah. So again, people, man, moving back on to the topic, they trying to give the youth these guns so that they can go out there and kill people, rather than teaching the youth to better themselves, to get out of those crazy communities, to get away from the crime and the violence. Yes, there's racism in the world, but that's not an excuse to stop us from making good decisions to better ourselves. And that's something I try to make people understand. But you're gonna have people that's gonna come up in the live chat, they're gonna be like, oh, you're playing the victim, oh, you're pulling the race card, oh, you're doing this. Man, I'm tired of people doing that dumb stuff, man. Seriously. We're not playing no victim, man. I'm not no victim. I don't play none of that mess. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm about my business. I'm about family. I'm about development. I'm about growth. I'm not about none of that nonsense, bro. I'm serious. When I get up in the morning, I'm about business. And me being here in this environment, I'm all about business. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here sugarcoating. I'm not here playing no games. I'm a grown man. I'm on grown man business. I'm not out in the damn hood talking about what I'm going to do. I'm about the business, bro. Like, seriously. Let me see. Population control. Isn't the goal to destroy God's people part of the plan? Listen, man. How do I say this? Let me read your comment. Jay says, isn't it the goal to destroy God's people part of the plan? Hear me clear. All of the people that are literally claiming that they're God's people are hypocrites. Let's just call it what it is, no sugarcoating. They're hypocrites. They're not really repping the Most High, because if they were, they wouldn't be in these conditions. The Bible says that if you're keeping the commandments of the Most High, you're going to be blessed in the city, blessed in the field. This is what you're going to be doing. So if the majority of black folk are God's people and they're going through hard times, it's not because the white man is causing them to go through. They're going through because they don't follow the Most High. They're going through because they're not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, because they're hypocrites. They're fake. You understand? Remember, the transatlantic slave trade was a curse that was sent by the Most High on his chosen people because they rebelled against him. So in all essence, it's not technically white people who decided that they're going to do X, Y, and Z to black people in terms of slavery. It was the decree of the Most High to execute judgment. The problem is the white man went overboard with his agenda with our people, and now the Most High is going to send judgment his way, right? So, again, gun laws being passed. It says effective July 4th. Isn't that interesting? July 4th. 4th of July. Get it? 4th of July. Bet that went right over your head. Right? Bet that went right over your head, bro. Truth, not all blacks serve the Most High. They don't even serve the Most High at all. I keep telling you, man, a lot of our people are hypocrites, and they don't really follow. They don't even live according to any standard. They're just themselves. They're not really repping the Most High at all. You got to be about your family business, man. I think a lot of people hide behind religion. They're not really focused on anything. They just hide behind religion. It's like it's something that makes us all connect and feel like we're all with each other. But in truth, we're really not living according to anything that we say. It's a lot of people like that. Somebody said, you hide behind religion. How do I hide behind religion? I don't hide behind anything. I don't even practice religion. Religion is a word that comes from a word called religio, which means to hold you back and keep you from making progress. Religion is man-made. I don't follow religion. The Bible is not religion. Religion is the Christian church. That's religion. Religion is going to a church, making a pastor rule over you to the point where he's telling you what to do. That's religion. Religion is attending a church every Sunday, praising a God that for some reason you're in poverty, but he's not helping you to get free. That's religion. Religion is saying you believe in Jesus, but yet everybody in your family is dying, everybody's sick, everybody's struggling, but this Jesus you following, he don't really seem to be doing anything in your life. That's religion. Religion is continually having a belief in a God that is not producing nothing in your life. That's religion. And this is why when people look at religious folk, all they see are crazy people who talk all day. If everybody that claim they follow God is so religious and spiritual, why you on the bottom? And why the ones who you say are the sinners, the heathen, the wicked are at the top? It's because you who are religious are lazy. You don't want to work. You hide behind spirituality and religion rather than going out there and work towards something. See, the people who you call the sinner, the wicked, the heathen, they're working. They're the ones who build up the infrastructure. Now you tell me, how is it that a sinner, an ungodly demon of a person can build the infrastructure we use every single day, but the person who claim they read the Bible all the time haven't done a damn thing? You tell me. You tell me, how is it that men that don't follow God create all the technology, build all the infrastructure, build all the electrical, all the plumbing, all the housing, all the skyscrapers, all the cars, all the inventions, everything is being done, but they don't even read the Bible? You tell me. But the person who's ultra religious haven't started a business yet, haven't built nothing, don't even know how to install a washer and dryer, but they know Jesus. That's sad. I don't follow religion. I don't follow that mess. Religion holds you back. Religion makes you lazy. Religion makes you make excuses. That's what religion does. Yeah, most Israelites blaming the other nations for all their problems. Yeah, that's because those Israelites are what I call hypocrites. They're lazy men. I don't sit around blaming white people for anything. I don't do that. Some of you might be watching this stream and thinking, oh, but you are blaming the white man. When have I blamed the white man? I don't blame the white man for nothing. Slavery? Slavery wasn't the white man's idea. Slavery was not the white man's idea. Slavery was God's idea. Read your Bible. The Most High sent the other nations to put our people in slavery because we didn't obey his laws, statutes, and commandments. So that was the Most High's doing, not the white man. So while you talking about the white man is the devil and this and that and all this other stuff, you need to make those complaints go to God, because he's the one who sent them to put us in slavery. And I don't got a problem with that. But see, if you're a biblical Israelite today and you obey his laws, you obey the Bible to the best of your abilities, then you're going to experience what the Bible call the blessing, not the curse. When you speak to Israelites, they're always talking about how we're under the curses. We're under the curses. No, you under the curses. I'm not. You are under the curses. I'm not. Because the only people who are under curses are people who don't follow the Most High. But if you follow the Most High and you're doing what he say to do and you're taking action and you're making moves, you are going to be blessed in the city, blessed in the field. Anything you put your hands to will prosper. That's as simple as that. You know? Here come another slow person. Wisdom comes. Another slow person says, you just said the elite control the money, jobs, and laws. You see what I mean about slow people? Listen, the elite don't control how I make money. I do. The elite don't control how I choose to make money. I do. Nobody controls that but me. I'm in control. You're not paying attention in class. Did you graduate high school? Because you're not paying attention. What do you mean the elite control this, the elite control that? You're not paying attention. Racism control elements of everything we see in society. But racism cannot control me. You let it control you. It don't control me. I'm an independent. Nobody control me. That's just it. Let me see. And that's another thing about our people. Very jealous. Very, very jealous people, man. Very, very wicked. As soon as they see somebody get something, they get envious and get mad because they don't like to see their brothers and sisters doing anything. They don't have a problem with the white man having stuff, but if the black man do, oh, it's a problem. White man buy a house, black folks say nothing about it. The minute a black man get a house or do this or do that or elevate in any sort of capacity, it's a problem. Let's start to hate. Let's get upset. Let's get mad. Why? Because we don't want to see black people prosper. Very, very wicked people, bro. This is why I roll solo. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, doesn't matter who you are. I roll solo. Simple as that. I don't need friends. I don't need friends. Did you hear me? I don't need friends. I don't need them. Me personally, I do not need friends. I can roll solo for the rest of my life. 100% solo. A lot of people out there can't do that, fam, because they depend on people. They depend on people to be around them in order to feel like they're a part of something. I can go and hang out by myself, do things by myself, go to the store by myself, go to the mall by myself, take a walk by myself, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You know? Because the minute you start having too many people around you, that's when problems start. Yeah, certain people in this world don't want to see other people, succeed and prosper or whatever the case is. That's true. Certain people don't like that. Somebody said it's actually pathetic how if a black family moves into a white subdivision, the property market has others oh, I get what you're saying. I've seen situations where people wanted to buy a house, and because they were black, they were getting charged more, whereas a white family was getting charged less for the same exact house. Somebody did a video on that on YouTube where they expose how the racism works. See, when I talk about racism, people get upset. This is real. Even in the housing market. If you're black and you try to move to a certain neighborhood, they're going to charge you more money than a white family. This is true. Look it up on YouTube. Look at what's going on. It happens every single day. They did a sting operation, and it was evident. They were giving a white family a better deal, whereas they gave the black family, they increased that price very high. Because really and truly, hear me clear, they don't even want the black family in that neighborhood. They really don't want that black family in that neighborhood. So they try to put the price up very high in hopes that it would intimidate them, make them feel like they can't afford it, downsize, get something a little less, or whatever the case is. There's certain neighborhoods they don't even want black folk in, and the only way you could get in is if you have some money. Trust me. In some decent suburban communities, when you have black families there, trust and believe it, other families that are there, they know in order for you to be there, you got some money. So even though they may not like you, not saying that they do, but what I'm saying is in certain communities, there are going to be certain groups, politics, and so on and so forth. They already know. The only reason why you're there is because you got some sort of money. So when they look at you, they may not like you, but at the same time, they're like, they got some money. Because there's no reason, there's no way they could be here. Because they're not supposed to be here. They're supposed to be in the hood. They're supposed to be in the projects. They're supposed to be over there. They're not supposed to be here. So you got to have something. You know? I just subscribed, you earned it, and you really making me think about stuff. Appreciate the subscription. Well, it takes money to buy a house, bozo. My dad wanted to buy the land next to the house, and he couldn't. But they sold the land to a white family real quick. I grew up in that kind of situation. Wow. See? There you go. Your dad wanted to buy land next to the house to keep everything in the family. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to keep things in the family, buy the land next to the house. In other words, dad raised the family. I want to buy the land. Oh, no, you can't buy the land. We're going to give it to this family. That's the racism that I'm talking about, y'all. That's the racism. That's the racism I'm talking about. And see, when people think of racism, it's not just this thing of, oh, white people not liking black people. It's a different spirit, man. It's like, let's say there's a particular house, right, on the corner. Beautiful house. Everybody got their eye on it, right? Black family come in. Hey, I want the house. I'm ready to buy. I got the money. I got everything. I'm ready to go. Racism will kick in, and they will block that black family from getting that house in order to give it to another group of people. That's racism. The black family have all the credentials. They have the credit. They have the capital. They have the money. They have everything to get that house. That they deserve that house. But they won't get that house because of racism. They won't get it. They'll give it to somebody else and then offer that family a house that is not really all that up to the spec they wanted. How many of you been there? You tried to get a house, you had all the money, you had everything in place, You knew you were supposed to get the house. They gave it to somebody else. And you had to go figure out some other plan. And it messed up everything. You end up having to get a house you didn't really want. How many of you seen a house you really wanted? You walked in, you were like, this is it. This is what I need. I want it. I'm just calling to tell you, you know the house? Yeah, another family was able to, I thought you said the house was available. Now it's not? Okay. That's the politics. That's the politics I'm talking about. You know? New way. Yeah, there's a lot of discrimination in the housing market. Monopoly in a lot of gated communities. Yeah. I'm trying to read some of the comments, so don't get mad if I don't read your comment, you know? A lot of people have a deep hatred for no apparent reason, bro. You could be the nicest person on earth, move to a nice neighborhood, people just don't like you. They just don't like you, bro. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why I say roll solo. My neighbors are black. You can have black neighbors and they still don't like you. I just look at it like this, man. I just roll solo. I don't really care who's the neighbor. White, black, doesn't matter to me. I just focus on me. I don't got time to mix mingle with everybody. I don't do that type of stuff. I don't know how y'all move, but I don't move like that. I'm not the type of person that's trying to mix mingle with everybody and, well, I need to get to know everybody. No, that's how everybody get into your business. And before you know it, you got drama going on. Right? So, hey, I'm going to get up on out of here, man. I ain't realized it's 10:34 already in the morning, man. I got some work to do. It is what it is. I'm going to come back later with more. I got to go shopping again, do what I got to do. So y'all stay safe out there. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace and blessings to the mods in the chat. Shout out to everybody that support the show. It is what it is. We'll be back later on with more. Let me see. Anyway, man, I'm getting all out of here, man. Kids are now walking around the kitchen area, man. Don't even walk this way because you're going to be on my show. You know, my daughter's in front of me, ready to start the noise, man. So, hey, I'm going to be back later on. Y'all stay safe out there on 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Stay at peace. Don't let nobody push you over the edge and whatnot. We'll be back later with more content. And it is what it is, man. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Ringo TV Reactions. I'm out of here. I am out of here. Let me see. Okay. All right, y'all take care. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace and blessings. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. And let's get the likes to 1,000.